public hearing on this consideration. Key sponsor of the bill, we had a public hearing on this consideration, which tape is available. At no point in this live telecasted deliberation and consideration did the committee accept that this must be a new clause that must be introduced. Because, Mr. Speaker, the very thrust of the constitution of the bill that we have introduced, which we introduced previously, and same we are introducing now, is to be able to prohibit promotion and propaganda and advocacy of these abominable practices. And we well know that the very clandestine avenues where these propaganda and advocacies are championed are through these NGOs, international organizations, bodies, and under the guise of medical interventions. Mr. Speaker, in the course of the deliberation live on TV, there were some of these bodies who were ably represented and vocally confessed that they even supply.
Yo, nana kafo mwana kwaba. Zeba no kwami winchumeti. Zana wa ya kasakasa wa omane muha. What about the passage of the Human Social Rights and Family Values Bill? In short, your friend LGBTQ bill. No one some bajin trana or omane muha. Ma oye dede unyai. Churches, religious organizations did everything possible, played serious advocacy role, was on government to pass the anti-LGBTQ bill. Manyamiadom embreshebogofu for several years otumo passe. Nanso omampinin awasumko nana adodam kwa Akufo-Addo wa assent to the bill wa ma bill na embreshebogofu oboka o passe nen wambaye mbra wo manimu o said that ko hide behind legal suits. Ma manfo kase ma 8 parliament koguwe 9 parliament aba proud to campaign His Excellency John Dramani Mahama NDC led candidate Shabo de Oba Obashade Trumutu Bill de Bisia Bakadono Oba Warni Yanku Bisia Ninya Bisia no nyina da ya wardi Benin Bakade ono Oba War Ninya Benin no zedne kota hihye nutun onyina da yesi oye chiwaze zema oman Ghana nyen kusum ina mambre nsosodo John Dramani Mahama ba no hobada obayo mampanyina obokwiti obashambra sambeche begofo shambra waze ba ozedin sabashase onrin yede nya twem na nado danko Akufo-Addo omampanyin oya dom kuma wamba shebegum press conference ahora waye womani mu the afubo accuse John Dramani Mahama NDC led administration there oba banumu afekro na nambori onto mon pass bill nene nanse ya ampo wasan waye hu dede as dom kuma wamba shebegum wunyi manyi dede hu na waye afei wɔ kapa dwumedi wɔdze asan dze akɔmbrɛhyɛ begum a wa passenin one passer one of the sponsors in the previous administration other one sponsor bɛhyɛ begonyo gyina hɔ ma dehyia wɔwɔ asan south ɔyɛ John Ntimfojo enyim guasi disgracefully aso original rectia the passage in a hey we gunninyi masepoto yankwane nkete za osi wo mrehye bra oye the Human Social Rights and Family Values Bill wo pass anana wo pada wo pass under das 9 parliament dem roba ya John Dramani Mahama bo so shenin so bezido anunzido nen na Ghana fo yetumi ahwe yankonko hu yankotwe nyimguase a osi nyimguase di a mofamaza John Intimfojo oye during the passage of the bill in kaide jumedi arehwani ya nokwari mi jumedi sena nyida ozikana arehwe dam no kwari jumedi wa Ghana Banis YouTube channel ho brasema ye titashre subscribe to channel no dem no yeri di juma wabonke na ezo nyimedi Wajunche Zabata Jumedi nature. You're welcome to the Bitter Truth. If today is the first time that you are watching the Bitter Truth on the Ghana Banis YouTube channel, we are humbly pleading with you to kindly subscribe to the Ghana Banis YouTube channel. Click on the notification bell. Let's hear from you. Let's get interactive. Drop your views and suggestions in the comment section.
As a key sponsor of the bill, we had a public hearing on this consideration, which tape is available. At no point in this live telecasted deliberation and consideration did the committee accept that this must be a new clause that must be introduced. Because, Mr. Speaker, the very thrust of the constitution of the bill that we have introduced, which we introduced previously, and same we are introducing now, is to be able to prohibit promotion and propaganda and advocacy of these abominable practices. And we well know that the very clandestine avenues where these propaganda and advocacies are championed are through these NGOs, international organizations, bodies, and under the guise of medical interventions. Mr. Speaker, in the course of the deliberation live on TV, there were some of these bodies who were ably represented and vocally confessed that they even supply condoms and other aids to persons engaged in these abnormalities that we are prescribing. It is for which reason that you would notice in this bill that the sentencing regime for prohibition, propaganda, and advocacy is even higher and stronger than those committing the act itself. So for you to say that you are introducing, and forgive me for the word I previously used, but this is where it applies. For you to smuggle in a whole new clause, which is now going to give exemption to the very avenues.
I advise you that when a bill is referred to a committee, it is in the domain of the committee.
So, Mr. Speaker,
the committee cannot therefore propose an amendment, and you will refer to those proposals as having been smuggled in.
Mr. Speaker, it was never part of any of the proposals.
Are you a member of the committee?
I'm a key sponsor.
Yes.
And
if you are a sponsor of the committee, for instance.
And Mr. Speaker, my co-sponsors,
for instance,
who are members of the committee, have given me indication.
Just hold it. If Attorney General brings a bill to Parliament and the bill is referred to a committee and the committee came out with a proposal, Attorney General cannot come and say that this is not part of my bill, therefore that aspect has been smuggled into the DC. But what I want us to do is to take these exemptions one after the other. Are we saying that the provision of legal advice or legal representation to anybody who is accused or arrested for the prohibited acts should in itself be a criminal action? That we have to consider it as a house.
No, Mr. Speaker, the prohibitions are clear. It says that subject to the Constitution, a person shall not produce, procure, market, broadcast, disseminate, publish, or distribute through a medium, technological platform, technological account, or any other means, or a film, the internet service or electronic device, or any other device capable of electronic storage or transmission. Then again, the person shall not promote or support an act prohibited under this act, engage in, participate in, promote or support an act aimed at changing public opinion towards an act prohibited under this act.
Okay,
Mr. Speaker, the instances you have raised,
yes,
they do not in any way intend to be to propagate any of these prohibitions I have mentioned. So there is no need to create any assumption.
If somebody is accused of LGBTQ, the principle is that all suspects are deemed innocent. And today, we file pleadings and correspondence through electronic means to the courts. And a lawyer does that. And definitely, the lawyer's argument or the lawyer's statement written by the lawyer is going to be in support of that particular accused person. So do we take it that lawyer is guilty of an offense?
Mr. Speaker, we are talking about procedures at court, which procedures are subject to the Constitution. And
yes.
Here the preamble is subject to the Constitution.
Yes.
So we have made it clear. Any activity that we are talking about, and the very groups that whoever put this amendment in is seeking to exempt, whatever they are doing, subject to the Constitution. If it is subject to the Constitution,
so
no need to exempt them.
This provision in A, is in consonance with the provision in the Constitution?
And we are making it clearer.
Yes. So if it is making it clearer, let's move away and look at the B. Submission or representation made to a court or tribunal, parliament, commission of inquiry, or a body exercising judicial or quasi-judicial function. Is it also in consonance with the provision of the Constitution?
Mr. Speaker, the point I want to make is that we as sponsors are opposed to these assumptions being created. Because without these assumptions, the bill is sound as we propose it. Okay. It doesn't take anything. But if suddenly in 2026, the majority may want to pass a bill which exempts NGOs, legal representatives,
Honorable Intim
tribunals, and all these exemptions. I wash my hands off that
Honorable
amendment.
Intim Fojo, it is the House that is passing the bill.
The entire insertion we cannot be part of.
Honorable Intim Fojo, why won't you listen to a guidance? Yes, let me hear.
Yeah, Honorable Ntim Fojo, you are the sponsor of the bill.
One of the sponsors.
One of the sponsors of the bill. In your own bill, clause 9, subclause 1, you say, subject to the Constitution. Can you tell us which aspects of the Constitution you are subjecting this clause to? Which clauses of the Constitution are you subjecting clause 912? What in the Constitution are you trying to protect when you say subject to the Constitution? You definitely have seen that all the offenses that you are prescribing in clause 9 have a bearing on some provisions of the Constitution. So for clarity for us in this house to go along with you, can you tell us specifically which aspects of the Constitution you are subjecting clause 9 to? It arises because that is what, listen, that is what civil society groups raise as an objection. So media houses and journalists raise an objection that you are violating their right to free speech. Then academics raise objection that the way that we are crafting the legislation, it even denies them of engaging in research and publishing the findings of their research. Then lawyers raise objection that the way we have couched the offense, it means that if a lawyer goes to court to advocate for somebody who is engaged in the offense, some aspects of the advocacy in court might actually be impinging on the provisions of the legislation. So those are the provisions that I believe you, the very crafter of the bill, you envisage when you said in your own bill in 9.1 that's subject to the Constitution, because you recognize that there are certain constitutionally conferred rights, and that the way that you have couched your clause 9, we are in danger of violating those constitutional rights. And it is to address that concern that the committee has teased out those cases that potentially your own bill had in mind when it says subject to the Constitution. So for you to rise up and say that the majority is smuggling in something, you made provision in your bill saying subject to the Constitution. We are demanding that you specify which provisions of the Constitution and which particular conduct the Constitution protects, which you yourself are saying that we should subject your clause to.
Before you come in, let me supply a constitutional provision in Article 14.2. It reads, a person who is arrested, restricted, or detained shall be informed immediately in a language that he understands of the reason of his arrest, restriction, or detention, and of his right to a lawyer of his choice. So it therefore means that anybody who is arrested, going to be restricted, going to be detained as a result of prohibited offenses will be entitled to a lawyer of his own choice. Now, this exemption in 1 is saying that the provision of legal advice or legal representation is an exception to the rules, and the Constitution gives right to that particular accused person to choose a lawyer of his own choice. So in the event of choosing the lawyer of his own choice and the lawyer speaking in favor of that particular person, do we say that that lawyer in performing this constitutional function is against, is violating these particular acts? That is why the law is subjecting it to the provisions of this Constitution. So this one substantiates and makes it clearer. I appear before a tribunal, I appear before a quasi-judicial body and advocating for LGBTQ person, and that person is exercising his constitutional right of a lawyer of his own choice. So they are saying that that lawyer cannot be guilty of an offense in 2.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Rightfully guided, but is Mr. Speaker suggesting that the 8th Parliament passed an illegal bill?
Well,
is this ruling suggesting that the bill in the shape and form that was passed?
Let me provide you the answer. It doesn't make the law illegal. Other than that, no bill after passage will come to Parliament for amendment. So law is very dynamic. It's an instrument of social engineering. It is a communicative action. It must be an aid to development. So the fact that you pass a law and you are bringing it back for amendment does not mean the law is illegal. Did you get the point?
As a key sponsor of the bill, we had a public hearing.
Sir Ati, the explanation, not even the question, the majority leader, Mahama Ayariga, poses to a disgraceful, incompetent, immature Intimfodio representing the constituents of Asin South. Messi Intimfodio has exposed his ignorance. He's ignorant, he's politically immature. Just there to do the usual, Chobe, MPP Chobe. Because even the minority leader himself is of that character. always chobeism as a minority leader, where the issue is on the floor, a debate is going on, where you expected to canvass, an intelligent debate, an intelligent alternative points, canvass strong points to defeat what is on the floor, what is being canvassed by the opposing caucus. You are only there engaging in the usual ranting. What be said constitutionally? I was looking at the preamble of your clause 9. What constitutional rights are you seeking to protect? When the speaker, the first deputy speaker who sat in the chair, is educating an ignorant, immature in Tim Fojo as far as his disagreements about the passage of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2026 is concerned. Mercy. You see, in politics, political maturity is important. Political integrity is of essence. In Tim Fojo openly exhibited ignorance of what was going on. In Tim Fojo exhibited gross ignorance and gross immaturity, political immaturity. Okay? Remember, the show you are watching is Bitter Truth. Look at how shamefully he disgraced himself, kicking against the passage of the anti-LGBTQ bill. Massa, you see, this country, that means politics now are full. So when they sponsor but not intelligence, not experience, not genuine politicians exhibiting political integrity, demonstrating political maturity, canvassing arguments devoid of partisanship biases. Messi in Tim Fojo has just exposed his ignorance. In Tim Fojo has just exposed his immaturity politically. In this country, let truth be told, his conduct as far as the passage of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill 2026 is concerned, listen to considering taking into account all the numerous noise, ranting, press conferences that the minority caucus organized to disgrace in an attempt to smear His Excellency John Dramani Mahama NDC-led administration for not passing the LGBTQ bill after a whole year. Massa, they are just intended to kick against it, to delay it, to derail it so that they can make noise. They are unnecessary, irresponsible noise, propaganda noise, which is not inuring to the benefits, which is not inuring to the already existing sinking image of MPP. May say, MPP, a political party in an opposition, one of the greatest pillar that is supposed to work and keep the opposition party afloat is parliament, is the caucus, is the minority caucus. But what is being done under the leadership of Alexander Mackenzie, I will bury and for Biara. Honest political watcher politicians within the MPP and outside the MPP, you will realize that look, the leadership minority caucus under Alexander is ditching the party. Messi recently, the flag bearer, His Excellency Bawumia, met them. And the question he posed, did they listen to it? Did they hear his question, Anna? Was those that stand? Also now, they should work with unison, with a unified approach, strategically. So is this a strategy just to resist the passage of the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, so that they can go, Mahama and DC couldn't fulfill their promises? You were disgraced in Team Fojo. You have demonstrated lack of maturity, political maturity, as far as this issue is concerned. Rising on your feet to canvass irresponsible, reckless, counterproductive argument on the floor of parliament, and let truth be told in Team Fojo, you a disgrace. Be responsible enough. Demonstrate maturity, political maturity. Will be some constitution now, your preamble, the clause 9 seeks to protect it. Catch again, you couldn't. You could not. What kind of nonsense is this? Come on, let politicians take this country, the citizens, serious. Politicians must take citizens of Ghana serious, the taxpayers. Massa, Messi, we will speak the truth. We speak our mind. Truth is very bitter. We are not here to please you. You are disgrace. Remember, the show you are watching is Bitter Truth. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the former president, said citizens should not be spectators, but Ghanaian citizens shouldn't be or must not be spectators, but citizens. Join the Bitter Truth to be citizens. If today is the first time you are watching the Bitter Truth on Ghana Band News YouTube channel, we're humbly pleading with you to kindly subscribe to the channel, so that anytime we're having a program, you'll be updated to be part of it. You are shame for your intim, for your shame. Your constituents must be disappointed in you. I'm expecting the various groupings now, all Kasatia when they are not supposed to be exempted. Or yeah, the clergy, the media, the Ghana Bar Association, if they are responsible enough and they are honest, they must speak. As far as this Hula Balu of those exemption now, Wamba amendment now, Wamba another bill, and what is their position? What is their stand? They must make their stand known to the public. Let the religious body speak. Let the GJA, under the leadership of our president Jumfo, to speak on this issue. What is the position of the GJA as far as those amendments of the clauses is concerned? GBA, what is their position? They should speak. Let us hear their voice. If they are honest indeed, this is the bitter truth. We are not building a political party, but a country. The show is the bitter truth. Thank you for using your data and time to watch the show. Let's hear your views. How do you feel? How will you describe the action of Intim Fojo? It is the bitter truth. Truth is bitter. It must be told. With that truth, this country of ours, Ghana, cannot develop. We say goodbye. May God keep and protect you till we come your way with another unadulterated, authentic